welcome to New Horizons in Chinese Philosophy. This is Lecture 10. In this lecture, we will continue to discuss Mencius' philosophy. We will focus on his social and political philosophy. First, social philosophy. In his social philosophy, Mencius put much emphasis on the ordinary material needs of men. Unlike the Shi, the wandering intellectuals, the ordinary people cannot be expected to maintain a steadfast heart without a stable livelihood. In his dialogue with Gaozi, Mencius does not deny that the need for food and sex are an authentic part of the nature. The nourishment of qi includes adequate physical nourishment and satisfaction of all basic material needs. Mencius thinks that the sense desires belong to the nature. It is in the area of the interaction of the senses with the outer world that human perversity first seems to arise. It is natural to satisfy one's physical needs. All men naturally love good tastes, good sounds, and physical beauty. Mencius is deeply committed to civilizations. He accepts the cooking of the cook, 一牙, as the standard of good tastes. Mencius does not negate the civilized satisfaction of man's physical needs. This can be seen from his attitude toward merchants. He has a positive attitude toward merchants. Merchants bring goods from areas where they are abundant to areas where they are scarce. They have a legitimate role in society. He calls on rulers to protect the rights of merchants in the marketplace. He urges King Huan not to levy excessive taxes on merchants so that they will enjoy the refuge of your marketplace. He defends the notion that prices should be determined by the free market. In his defense of the division of labor against Xu Xing, he stresses the fact that even in the society of his time, peasants depend on pots, pans, plows, and cups produced by others. This is, of course, a desirable state of affairs. This shows that he envisions the possibility of a livelihood for the people. This livelihood includes an unspecified standard of civilized comfort and amenities. In his dialogue with King Hui and King Xuan, Mencius seems to condone the extravagant luxuries of those princes. The two princes in question are not likely to give up their huge hunting parks, expensive concubines, and lavish palaces. Mencius believes that a certain level of luxury is a necessary appurtenance of the ceremonial life of rulers. However, when they ask him if it is legitimate for them to enjoy these ostentatious luxuries, he argues that such luxuries are legitimate only if the people can also enjoy something of the good life. When King Wen of old had a hunting park, the park was open to woodcutters and hunters. It is crucial that King Wen enjoyed these luxuries only after he had seen to it that the people's livelihood had been assured. It is obvious that King Hui and King Xuan would not be able to maintain the kinds of luxuries they had if they were truly concerned with the people's livelihood. Like Confucius, Mencius does not dismiss sense pleasures or even honors as evils in themselves. These goods are evil only when they are not subordinated to the higher goods, and they are not constrained by the higher goods. According to Mencius, the senses do not think, and thus lead to fantasies of limitless gratification of the senses and of the desires for fame and honor. Quote, all men have the common desire for honor, and all men have in themselves that which is worthy of honor. But all men do not think of it, end quote. Quote, those who are satiated with humanity and righteousness do not desire the fat meat and fine millet of others, and enjoying true fame and wide praise, they do not desire the elegant clothes of others, end quote. So, the highest good is the deep inner satisfaction and the tranquility which comes from a life devoted to humanity and righteousness. Other goods are good only to the extent that they are subordinate to and limited by this supreme good. Mencius does not deny that sense pleasures and reputation are goods, but he asserts that, quote, in nourishing the mind, there is nothing better than to reduce the desires, end quote. The depletion of emotional qi that results from a fixation on limitless satisfaction and the wrong kind of fame are not compatible with the nature of the heart. The wrong kind of fame is a fame that can only be satisfied by constant aggrandizement with the inevitable accompanying fear of loss of power. Mencius argues to King Xuan that his excessive luxuries might be justified if he took care of the needs of people. Mencius also expresses his contempt for contemporary rulers with their halls tens of feet in height, their tables laden with food measuring 10 feet across, and their female attendants numbering in the hundreds, end quote. Mencius thinks that desires should be limited. A life spent in the limitless expenditure of vital energy in obtaining an infinite variety of goods would lead to starvation of the qi and of the heart of humanity and righteousness. A good society is one in which the aged wear silk and eat meat, and the ordinary people are neither cold nor hungry. This is a society which is above bare subsistence and one in which the ordinary people can participate in the life of festival and familial and communal, quote, holy ritual, end quote. This is compatible with Mencius's admonition to, quote, reduce the desires, end quote. Mencius's social policy emphasizes that the ruling class is to refrain from imposing excessive demands on the people. The people are allowed to make its own livelihood. Mencius stresses the roots of the goodness within the human heart. He also provides a picture of the specific institutional setting through which this goodness is to be realized. During the Song Dynasty, the famous statesman Wang Anshi was preoccupied with creating a kind of outer institutional blueprint of the good society. Zhu Xi was preoccupied with cultivating the sources of moral excellence in the individual. They both found inspiration in Mencius. So much for social philosophy.